Hello, this is Jane Talbot. It is 6:15 at night here in North Antrim in Northern Ireland, and tonight I am embarking on a very special adventure. I'm out on the farm and behind me is a tree. Actually, it's two trees intertwined. One is an elder and one is a hawthorn, also known as a fairy thorn. So when a hawthorn is standing out in a field on its own like this, it's known as a fairy thorn, and it is believed that fairies live close to this tree or spend time by this tree, and therefore one must be very careful and respectful. I have left a yellow ribbon, and maybe you can just see it there, a yellow ribbon as an offering of peace. Certainly in this part of the world, fairies, or she as they are also known, are taken very seriously. In 1982, the DeLorean factory, so if you've watched Back to the Future, you know what a DeLorean car looks like, they took fairy thorns so seriously that they actually planted a new fairy thorn when they had removed an old fairy thorn to build the factory, and they put the poor fortune of the DeLorean company down to the fact that they removed this tree. So in the hope of improving its fortune, they planted another one. A power station in County Down was supposed to be built in a certain location, but to build it they would have to remove a fairy thorn, so they moved the whole plant to a different location. And the reason they moved it is that several people were injured as they began to start work. So tonight at twilight, so twilight here will start just after 10 o'clock at night, and also twilight tomorrow morning, which will start just before 4 o'clock, I'm going to visit this tree and I'm going to see if I can see any fairies. This is a big adventure. So now it is about 8:15, about 2 hours to go before twilight, before going back to the fairy thorn. I'm in the back of the van. I'll be sleeping here tonight with my dog. I, in preparation for this, watched an hour-long film last night about fairies and how to see them, and there was a professor speaking, and he said something that really struck a chord with me, that I have experienced over the last couple of months. That in order to see something like a fairy, it's not about seeing it in your mind, it's not about seeing it outside you, but there is a third space between you and the outside world, inhabited by your imagination. This is the space where composers go, where writers go, and this is the space where things like fairies exist. So I am going to go into that space. I know where it is. That's where I got my music from. I definitely wasn't writing my romantic fiction from this space, and that's probably why it didn't go so well. But I shall be going to that space, and I will be opening my heart centre as with the animal connection, and I'll be going in peace. On that film, it's also incredible that people who had seen fairies could hear fairy music. And the first thing that came to mind was this otherworldly music that I heard in my dreams the other night. So here I am hunkering down for the night, and I will report back later. So it is coming up to 10 to 10. I'm going to wait for it to get a little bit darker. Got a smudge stick here on the go, and now I'm circling round the van where I'm sleeping tonight to give the van a ring of protection to clear the space. Well, I have the fairy thorn behind me. It's 10:30 at night and it's absolutely incredible here. I'm going to turn round, and I doubt if you'll see it, but all the mist is gathering in the fields behind me in the hollows. It's absolutely beautiful. And now I am going to get closer to the tree and see what I can see. So here I am at the tree, and it is beautiful. The energy is lovely. There are rocks all around the bottom of it, and these rocks are actually on an OS map. And now I'm going to do what was suggested, and that is open my heart center and imagine that space, that third space, the place where music comes from for me, and just see what I can see. And I'm not going to look through the camera lens, I'm actually going to look to the side, and it's easy to imagine small things, very easy to see all sorts of things, and I'm probably seeing them in my mind's eye. This is certainly a very magical place. Feels kind of sacred, like I shouldn't actually get any closer, and I am going to leave whatever is here energy wise to it. Well, it is 4:20 in the morning. I can hear the birds, I can hear the distant roads. The sky is beautiful. It's not really picking up the sky on the camera behind me. It's been a quiet night all round, and I'm just going to see if I can see anything now at morning twilight. So again, I have the instinct not to stand too close to these two intertwined trees. They certainly stand out. They look and feel different to all the other trees around, and there are many trees around. I'm standing actually in the middle of a nursery. And again, I'm not going to look through the lens of the camera, I'm going to look directly at the tree. And it really is so easy to imagine creatures dancing and hanging and swinging from the branches and sitting in the trunks. It's really quite easy to see them, even though no one else could. Even though I don't really know what I'm seeing. I think what this has taught me, the last month I suppose, is there's a blurring between the lines of reality and my imagination. I don't even know if my imagination is the right word, and the question for me now is, what is real? And to what degree can I trust my perception? I certainly think my imagination is a very rich place. Everyone's imagination is really worthy of exploration. It certainly adds a real richness, a whole layer of new dimensions to our experience. I'm beginning to experience the world in new ways. Yeah. It's a very special place, this. Going to take some photographs. I think it's a lovely time of day.